Good afternoon. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Again, welcome to The Edge, and also check us out on our podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to talk about what is a good employee. So I'm working for a company to pretend, and I want to be the best employee I can be. I want to move up in the company. I want to do the right things. You know, this guy or lady has invested their home. They've invested everything they own in this company. I want to see them make a profit. What can I do? Maybe a later date, I could wind up owning the company. Who knows? That has happened in times past. But let's talk about the number of things you can do to be the best employee this person has ever had. So let's start out with and moving up the ladder really quick too. Look at that. You can do it. Okay, you just have to put yourself into it. So let's talk about this. So the most successful people and what they do. Now this also applies if you own your own company. Be the best employee you could be for your own self. So this is going to help everybody out. So number one is they think about the skills they need for the next job. They're continuously growing. We all, most of us try to be awesome at the skills of our job descriptions, but the most successful people also focus on what they'll need to know to succeed in their next job. So not sure which skills you should be developing? Kind of do a little research and find out and ask your boss, what's the next level? What do I need to do to grow in your company? Number two, they do speak up in meetings. Okay, especially if you're in a large meeting, intimidated by the higher-ups there or don't know what's going on, it's easy just to sit tight and just listen. But the people who get ahead don't wait for permission or an invitation to speak. They make sure, now do it modestly, okay? Raise your hand, don't just blurt it out. Make sure everyone in the room knows they have something to contribute. So even if you don't have a suggestion, speaking up to advocate for a coworker's point of view. Someone just made a great point. You say, right on. You did an awesome job. That's a great question. Or a well thought out question could go by just as far. Number three, they're dressed for the job they want. This is key, especially in today's relaxed atmosphere. So you've heard it said 1,000 times, but it holds true even now. People who get ahead at work look to those above them and emulate not only the clothes they wear, but the ways in which they present themselves in the office, interact with others, and they approach their work. Number four, they get to know the higher-ups. It's pretty hard to get promoted if your boss's boss doesn't know who you are. So make it a point to get to know the higher-ups in your department. Number five, they know how to communicate with those higher-ups. If you've been in executive level meetings, you know that C-suiters communicate a bit differently than the rest of us. So if you want to make it there someday, it's key to get to know how to talk the talk. Number six, they don't panic when they're caught in the elevator with the CEO. Instead, they make the most of the opportunity. The good news, you'll always be prepared if you ask the right questions. Be friendly. Don't act intimidated. Number seven, they take charge. When faced with a workplace challenge, a project roadblock, or maybe low team morale, most people shrug and say, well, there's not much I can do about it. The most successful people, on the other hand, take action. You're a team sporter, okay? Number eight, they look for leadership opportunities. Now, whether it's offering to lead a project team, volunteering to mentor a junior employee, or taking it upon themselves to train the new interns, people who want to and do get promoted don't wait on leadership opportunities to come to them. They look around, see where a leader is needed, then they jump in. Maybe there's lacking in the shipping department, and you've got some great ideas. Please share those ideas with your boss, because if they see, don't hold it to yourself. I mean, there's no point in that. You want your company to grow as a whole. And guess what? Most people don't even think about this. So if you're working for a company, if they're making a profit, I mean, isn't that what you want? Don't you want your company to make a profit? I had employees in the past that it's as if they wanted me to fail for some reason. I got rid of them. And think about that, okay? If you're not a team player, you don't want the the business to profit, they're going to get rid of you. Number 9, they make allies across the organization. So most people work hard to impress their bosses. The most successful people work hard to impress everyone, from the mailroom clerk and receptionist to their peers and superiors, because they know that nothing without a team, they're nothing without a team on their side. If you put your nose up at the receptionist, by the way, the receptionist is the most important person in the whole organization. Did you know they can make or break you? There was a company called Allied Signal, and Becky worked there. She was a receptionist, and they were in Oxford, and I used to work for GTE. I treated her like she was a princess. I mean, I really did. So I saw her one day. I came in, one of the guys, Mike, wanted to meet one of my regular customers, and so he wanted to see me for something. And guess what? She said, "Go on in, he's right back here." Well, the guy came in right behind me. He acted like he was superior to her. Guess what? She didn't get to see anybody. She said, "Appointment only, sorry, sir." See what I mean? The receptionist is the most important person in that company. They can make you or break you. Okay, they give people their full attention. Yes. So listening is one of the top skills employers seek in potential and current employees. And it's correlated with perceived ability to lead. So giving people undivided attention, helping them feel motivated and energized, and showing them that you care about their thoughts and their opinions is more powerful than you know. Number 11, they stay professional. Would you want a manager who misses deadlines? Or maybe a manager who forgets to answer emails? Or maybe a manager who gossips about other employees? No, of course not. So if you want to get ahead, you shouldn't be displaying these behaviors either. Okay? There's no time for any of that. Number 12, they show up on time. Extremely important, not just because it's a nice thing to do, but because it ensures they get the seat at the conference room table, not one that's crammed in the back of the room. Number 13, they think like managers, not employees. So what does that mean? Okay, employees wait to be told what to do. Managers think strategically about what needs to be done, and then they do it. So employees do their own job well. Managers are committed to the team doing well. They don't look out just after themselves. They look out for the whole organization. So they mentor other employees. They pitch in when they're needed, and they go that extra mile, even if the work's going to be done better. And people who get promoted think like managers. They record their accomplishments. Unfortunately, even if your boss generally forgets you do a good job, they probably don't keep a running tally on your achievements. I mean, a boss is a boss. A boss has so many things to do, especially now with low employee morale. And that's why the most successful people keep track of their own sales numbers, project results, and awesome client feedback. To get started, we recommend keeping a brag folder in your inbox. Number 15, they communicate those accomplishments. To take it one step further, they don't just keep those accomplishments to themselves. They communicate them at regular check-ins, at the end of the big projects, and most definitely at their official reviews, without sounding like a jerk, of course. Number 16, they focus on results, not just activities. So just like you would on a resume, don't just talk about the to-dos you've knocked off your list. Talk about the results of your work. Think quality. Think, in last week's vendor meeting, I was able to negotiate a 10% discount, which will save us $20,000 next year, versus last week's vendor meeting went great. See, think about end results. Number 17, they pay attention to who else is getting promoted. Really keep an eye on that. Okay, that can help you later on. What if you get the CEO position? You know, let's say the owner of the company decides to step down. They still want to own it, but they're looking for someone to run it for them. They're going to notice the people who were team players. They pay attention to who else is getting promoted, and that's how you be a team player. So the rules of promotions are a bit different every place you go. Some companies reward their top performing salespeople. Others advance those who can smooth talk their way through any meeting, even if there's no real pattern. You can learn a lot about what takes place. Eventually move up your organization by watching the actions, the habits, and the accomplishment of others who've been successful. Number 18, they don't compare themselves to others. Of course, it's easy to think that just because Tim got a raise after being at the company for a year, you should too. Bad idea. You'll make a much better case for advancing within your company by focusing on what you've accomplished and what you can continue to do in your new role than whining about how you got stacked up against your colleagues. You need to treat this company as if you own it. That, in other words, as if you actually have stake in the company. Let me tell you something about, there are some grocery stores. If I would work at a grocery store, I would work at a grocery store where the employees actually own stock. And let me tell you something, there's something to be said about that. Employees who own stock in a business, and think about this, business owners, employees who own stock tend to do a better job because they own part of it. Even if it's only 0.5%, your employees are going to do a much better job. So think about that, Mr. and Miss Employer. Okay, number 19, they pitch in. At most companies, there will be opportunities to join in committees, to take on responsibilities that aren't necessarily part of your job description. Your company is overhauling its social media procedures and needs a representative from every major project department to sit on the project team. Or maybe your office is putting on a major fundraiser, maybe doing something with Toys for Tots. And they need somebody to coordinate the event planning committee. The most successful people pitch in, so it's always right there where the action is. Number 20, they actually listen to feedback. Feedback can be tough to take, but top employees have figured out how to take it seriously without taking it personally, and more importantly, how to put it into action. Okay, let's go into a commercial break. We're going to be right back in just a few minutes.
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to McCurdyLawFirm@gmail.com.
No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers.
At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018. Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications. You can also find us on the Amazon Fire and Roku by going through Abundant Television. And also, don't forget the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. We're talking about 47 reasons that you should do, but there's no excuse. You can do better on your job. I don't care who you are, Superman, Superwoman, you can always do better. And these are really, really good ones right here. I found them on themuse.com. The Muse, TheMuse.com. Number 21, they solve problems. Anyone can drop a complaint into the suggestion box, but the marker of a truly brilliant employee is coming up with solutions to those problems. Becoming a problem solver shows that you care not only about your own career, but the long-term health of the business. And I'm going to tell you, the employees I hung on to, the employees I gave raises to, whether they asked for them or not, were the ones who cared about my business. Those were the ones. Those are the ones I opened doors for them. Number 22, they identify inefficiencies. So even if there aren't big problems, there are probably things in your workplace that could be done better and more efficiently. And if you can be the one who identifies those things as well as the way to fix them, it'll make your life easier and you'll prove to your boss you're ready to improve the entire department's operations. Number 23, and this is an extremely important one, they steer clear of gossip. You can and you should identify problems within your company, but you should not use this in the coffee break room, which gives the impression that you're looking for an audience instead of a solution. And here's the best way to handle it. So if you're seeing someone is maybe sleeping on their job, which they should not be doing, without seeming like you're being bossy and without going over their head, you might want to mention that to the employee. You may want to say, look, I care. Use a sandwich effect. Say something to this sense like, I really care for you and I love working with you as an employee, but I'm just afraid the boss is going to find you sleeping on the job. So I just wanted to tell you that I've noticed it. So if I've noticed it, it could be the boss could come by any day and see that you're asleep at the wheel. And again, I want to keep you here in this company because I think you got a lot of potential. And I think that's the best way to handle it. Don't go to the boss yet. Now, if it's a continuous thing, you really owe it to the boss to do that. But
to keep it between you and that employee. And it could be they just haven't noticed. Maybe they've got issues at home. There could be several different things that are happening. So I would go ahead and do that. Okay, number 24, but they don't avoid politics altogether. Knowing the unofficial rules of your office, how communication happens, who's on the CEO side and who's not, which teams move and shake and which stagnate may be playing the politics game, but it's a game that will get you ahead. So if it's something that maybe somebody's stealing from the company, not good. And let me tell you this, if they're going to steal from the company, they could be stealing from you too. So you might want to hide your change purse. Okay, number 25, they keep tabs on the business as a whole. They really do care. Senior leaders don't just know what's happening in their own functional area. They know what's going on in their business as a whole, so they can contribute to the big picture. To get started, set up a Google alert within your company's name so you can always keep up to the date on what's happening. That's important too. Number 26, they keep tabs on other parts of the business. If there's an area you don't know much about, like finance, maybe HR, or the supply chain, introduce yourself to people in that department and ask if you can shadow them for an afternoon just to learn about what they're doing. Number 27, they commit to learning. Learning about the company, the industry, and the world at large. The most successful people are asking questions, attending conferences and courses, and always working to improve upon their skill set and learn something new. Go to Northeast Alabama Community College, take a course. You can always ask the boss a little bit later, hey, would you mind reimbursing me for this because I'm helping your business by taking this course? Now, what can they say? No. They stay positive. This is number 28. This is another real important one. You don't need to blind every passerby with your pearly whites, but remember that no matter how close your deadline or how heavy your workload, other people will take their cues from you. If you're snapping at coworkers and you're frowning, they'll snap and frown right back. That's just the way it works. Instead, take a breath, put on a smile. Show your boss you appreciate the opportunity. It'll go further than you know. I've been in the position of the boss. I know. I always saw the ones that were naysayers. And then I always knew the ones who were championing the company. Number 29, the socialize. Fair or not, bosses promote people they enjoy spending time with, and you'll enjoy spending a lot more time with. Promotable people work hard from 9 to 5, but they also make a point to make it a presentation. They go on barbecues, they do whatever they need to do within, if it's something that is family friendly. Okay, number 30, they pay attention to body language because 93% of what we say has absolutely nothing to do with words. To look like a leader when you speak, stand up to speak if possible, with feet comfortable apart, shoulders back, chin up, expansive arms, so that your body language adds credibility to your message. It works when seated too, so what you do is you're sitting up straight with your arms out, increases the space you take up, which is a demonstration of power. Okay, so if you have an idea, you want to perform it to one of the employees, or you want to talk to your boss about it, if you walk in all meek and you're scared to death and you're looking down, you're not even looking them in the eyes, then they're going to take you that you're serious about what you're saying. Okay? Now, there's a difference between being confident and being cocky. Now, that's another thing a boss does not like is cockiness. Okay, now they know how to pitch ideas the right way. Smart people are full of ideas, but brilliant people also have the ability to sell those ideas to everyone else, sharing not only why the idea is a great one, but how it will impact the team and the business. You can't be talking about how it's going to help you. You got to be talking about the business as a whole. They're comfortable with pressure. There's something about sliding it, but my boss used to say that. He would say, what is it with you? You like to slide into home base like right at the time, don't you? And I said, I don't know why I like to do that, but they're comfortable with pressure. Start getting comfortable with pressure. In fact, go out of your way and put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Okay, so if you do this often enough, you'll be more immune to pressure when you are stress tested. Like an improv meeting with the CEO. Ooh, we didn't know we were going to have that meeting with him. That's the time to really shine. Okay, number 33, they look cool, calm, and collected even when they're not. When you're angling for a raise and running for a promotion, or you're just flat out trying to impress, there's no doubt your superiors will look at how you handle your workload. In other words, stress. So when you're crashing on a deadline or tackling a new assignment, it's important to handle stress in style with the appearance of an unshakable, I got this attitude. They don't over apologize. Let's explain this one. So if you think you may apologize, you think it's a good way to build a relationship and express concern for another's well-being, you can actually undermine your professional demeanor if you're not careful. So apologizing for an unintentional, low-profile errors erodes our self-confidence and, in turn, the confidence others have in us. So let me give you an idea. So I always wanted my office to be clean. I wanted my phone to be clean. I would have makeup on it sometimes. So one time I literally tore up a phone system, or well, just my phone within the system. And so instead of blaming it on somebody else, I told the boss, I said, look, whatever I need to take it out of my check or whatever, I messed this phone up. And so Ed said, what'd you do? And I said, well, I was cleaning it. And apparently I sprayed too much of the cleaner on it. And I said it was working until I cleaned it. You know what he said? He just laughed. He said, go into the closet and get yourself another phone and stop worrying about it. But it's best to be upfront about those things. Okay, number 35, they look for opportunities to get in front of others. That is true. How do people get the opportunity to present at conferences? They get involved in big projects or they attend the right meetings. They ask for those opportunities and they never turn them down when they come along their way. They never turn them down. Okay, they don't worry about imperfection. I know perfection is an ideal that many of us strive to achieve, but when you get down to it, perfect rarely comes up in performance reviews or is given as grounds for promotion. So what's more important? Trying new things, being willing to grow and learn, constantly striving to get to the next level, even if you make a mistake or two along the way. Number 37, they own up to their mistakes. True. Okay, so when you're offered a big opportunity, consider it. Of course, you know how to deal with these mistakes the right way is by apologizing, but don't keep on at it. Okay. All right. Number 38, they take the opportunities they're afraid of. So when you're offered a big opportunity, consider it carefully, even if it scares the heck out of you. In the end, high risk often leads to high reward. But if you turn down every opportunity that comes your way, you won't ever have a chance to succeed. Number 39, they're not afraid to ask for help. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. No one got to where they are today without help along the way. Number 40, they don't say yes to everything. Because if they did, they'd never finish what's truly important. So as you go through the day, do frequent reality checks. Stop each hour and quickly ask yourself, did the last hour contribute anything most important to my most important goals? If not, vow to make the next 60 minutes better and start again. You're doing an analysis on yourself every hour. They constantly think about their careers. Upwardly mobile people don't let a couple of years go by without really thinking about moving up. So this is what you do. You want to go ahead and get ideas. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Then where do you see yourself in 2 years? Where do you want to be? Then you want to go 6 months. Then you want to go monthly. Then you want to go weekly. Then you want to go daily. And that's really important. That's how you can be very successful. My name is Donna. Thank you so much for watching The Edge on IAC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. I hope this makes you a better employee. I know you'll get more advancements and you'll make more money along the way. It's a gimme. It'll just come right to you. Thank you so much for watching us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications and Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net.